Let's talk about the single biggest thing that's probably standing between you and a healthy financial life. And I'll give you a hint. It's not your income and it's not the economy. It's denial. In this explainer, we're going to dig into why so many of us are just faking financial fitness and what it really takes to stop. So let me just ask you, straight up, on a scale of 1 to 10, how financially healthy are you? And I mean, be brutally honest with yourself. Are you actually in peak condition, or are you just, getting by? It's kind of a funny comparison, isn't it? We're all pretty good at knowing what it means to be physically out of shape. You can see it, you can feel it. But when it comes to money, well, the signs are a lot easier to hide. And boy, do we become masters at just ignoring them. And the excuses we make, they sound almost exactly the same. Physically, we'll say something like, I'm not that fat, just a little flabby. And what's the financial version? Well, pretty much everyone lives paycheck to paycheck, right? We've completely normalized being financially out of shape. And right there, that's the trap. Because in our culture today, being average with your money, well, it means being broke. It means you've got car payments, you've got student loans, you've got credit card debt. Being average is just a state of financial mediocrity, and believe me, it is a seriously dangerous place to get comfortable. This quote it gets right to the heart of it. Think about it. You would never, ever start a new fitness plan without first admitting you're out of shape. It is the exact same thing with your money. The biggest, hardest step isn't making a budget. It's breaking through that denial and just admitting, okay, we've got a problem here. But unfortunately, most people wait for a huge crisis before they have that realization. A job loss, a medical emergency, some sudden massive expense. That's the financial heart attack that finally just knocks the denial right out of them. But by then, the damage is already pretty severe. This brings up a really critical question, and it's based on a famous metaphor. Are you that frog just sitting in a pot of water as it slowly gets warmer and warmer, completely oblivious to the danger until it's way too late? So here's how the story goes. You take a frog, and you place it in some comfortable room temperature water. Feels fine. Then you start turning up the heat, but just one tiny degree at a time. The frog, it doesn't really notice the gradual change. It just keeps adjusting to its new normal. It never recognizes that creeping danger until, well, it's too late to jump out. And that is the perfect picture of how financial denial works. It's almost never one big, catastrophic decision that ruins us. No, it's the 1,000 little compromises we make along the way. One more swipe of the credit card, a car payment that's just a little too high, putting off saving for just one more month. Each one of those slowly turns up the heat. Okay, so let's get out of the metaphors and into the real world. How do you actually diagnose this stuff in your own life? What are the actual tangible signs that you might be financially out of shape? All right, let's do a quick little diagnostic check. We're talking about those house payments that stretch you so thin every single month, those fat car payments that honestly feel more like a second mortgage, and of course those bloated credit card balances that, no matter what you seem to do, just never go down. But the most dangerous symptom of all, savings that are so skinny they're practically anorexic. This slide really shows the split personality of debt, doesn't it? On the outside, it's the financial pose. You look great, you've got the nice car, the big house, but the reality, behind the curtain, it's stress, it's huge payments, and it's that constant nagging fear that just one small emergency could bring the whole house of cards crashing down. And let's be totally clear about something. Looking in the mirror and admitting all this, it is not easy. It's tough, emotionally. And the process of actually changing your habits, yeah, that's going to involve some pain and some sacrifice. There's really no way to sugarcoat it. And that leads to one of the most powerful truths about human behavior, and it's summed up perfectly right here. Most people won't change until the pain of where they are exceeds the pain of change. See, we're all just wired to avoid discomfort. So we'll stay in a bad but familiar situation until the misery of staying put is finally worse than the fear of starting something new. So this is what that moment looks like. Change only really happens when that first bar, the pain of your current situation, finally grows taller than the second bar, the pain you think you'll feel by changing. It's that moment you finally just get sick and tired of being sick and tired. So you're at a crossroads, and you've really only got two options. The first one is to do nothing. Just wait, and eventually the pain will get so bad that a crisis, the rash, is going to show up and force you to deal with it. Or there's the second option. You can be proactive. You can decide right now that the pain of your situation is already high enough. You can choose to lace up your running shoes and start the workout today, on your own terms, before a crisis does it for you. And this right here is the ultimate takeaway. Getting financially fit doesn't start with a spreadsheet. It doesn't start with some complicated budget. It doesn't even start with cutting up your credit cards. It starts with a simple but powerful decision. The decision to stop denying the truth and finally face reality. And that brings us to the final question for you. Are you going to stay in that warming water, just hoping it doesn't get too hot? Or are you going to make the decision right here, right now, to start running toward financial fitness? The choice is yours.